Welcome to this Tailor Made Life with Melissa. I'm Melissa Taylor, and today we're going to talk about the next body function. Previously we talked about the colon, the body function of the colon, how it's supposed to function, and also um, how it can get blocked and cause damage. So now we're going to talk about the liver and the bile ducts. It's basically just above the colon in the drainage gutter. Okay, so what's the liver? So the liver is a large, meaty organ that sits on the right side of the belly, weighs about 3 pounds, and the liver is a reddish brown in color and feels rubbery to the touch. Normally, you can't feel the liver because it's protected by your rib cage. The liver has two large sections called the right and the left lobes, and the gallbladder sits under the liver along with parts of the pancreas and the intestines. So the liver and these organs work together to digest, absorb, and process foods and toxins. So the liver's main job is to filter the blood coming from the digestive tract before passing it to the rest of the body. Now, the liver also detoxifies chemicals and metabolizes drugs. It's like over-the-counter drugs and any pharmaceutical medications that it can. And then the liver also makes proteins important for blood clotting and other functions. Okay, so now that we know what it does, then let's talk about the bile ducts. Okay, so the common bile duct is a small tube-like structure formed where the common hepatic duct and cystic duct joined. Its physiological role is to carry bile from the gallbladder and empty it into the upper part of the small intestine. The common bile duct is part of the biliary system. That's biliary system. Bile is a greenish brown fluid that helps digest fats from our food intake. It is produced by the liver and stored and concentrated in the gallbladder until it is needed to help digest food. When food enters the small intestine, bile travels through the common bile duct to reach the small intestine. So it's important to know that when our body is functioning properly, that it can get rid of any toxins that we take in through our skin, our mouth, our lungs. But when our body isn't functioning properly, that we're holding on to those toxins. So we want to make sure that our body is functioning properly, that we're getting rid of all the things, the bad stuff in our body, or that might be in the foods that we eat, or the lotions that we put in, or something that we're breathing into our body that we can't help. So we want to make sure that the liver and the bile ducts and the gallbladder are all functioning properly. So I think it's important to talk about what can disrupt the function of your or keep your liver and your bile duct from functioning properly. Pathogens. So some hepatitis and herpes infections can actually cause your bile ducts inflammation, and they can also cause destruction to your bile ducts as well. Parasitic worms can obstruct the bile ducts. We've got bacteria can invade your bile ducts and lead to inflammation and obstruction of your bile ducts, of these tubes. Toxins such as glyphosate, which is also known as Roundup, and other toxic chemicals can trigger reduced bile production and flow. So this is according to many animal studies. So this is known fact that this can happen. The best thing that you can do right now is to limit your toxic exposure, including choosing organic foods, which is what I've done. The reason that GMOs, that so many farmers want genetically modified organisms, is because those organisms are created to withstand glyphosate, to withstand herbicides and pesticides being sprayed on them. So pretty much all GMOs are going to be sprayed with some type of herbicide and or pesticide because that's why they were created. So when you go organic, not just non-GMO, because even non-GMOs, um, if it says non-GMO, that doesn't mean that they haven't sprayed. Um, that just means the seed has not been genetically modified. It doesn't mean that they haven't sprayed herbicides and pesticides on it. So organic is the best way to go. Also some drugs, some over the OTCs, over the counter drugs, and prescribed drugs. Certain antibiotics, anti-inflammatories, and antidepressants can disrupt bile flow as well. And excess estrogen, which we know we deal with. So increased estrogen levels, even from birth control, hormone replacement therapy, they may increase your risk of gallstones as well. And those can lead to bile duct blockages. When it comes to digestive health, it's important to not just focus on the colon like we've talked about in the past, but to focus on the entire digestive system. So consider this: 60 to 80% of the body's energy is used on digestion. So the remaining systems of your body, the immune system, the respiratory system, the reproductive, cardiovascular, nervous, and muscular system share 20 to 40% of your total energy. So guess what happens when one or more of those systems is challenged? Your body steals energy from the digestive system. So this is why a digestive problem is often the first clue that there may be a problem with another system. So I think it's important, not only to make sure that the colon is working properly, but also other parts of your body all functioning together harmoniously. So you want to avoid these toxins building up in your liver and your bile ducts. Ways that you can aid this part of your drainage gutter or your drainage funnel or your drainage function or whatever you want to call it. There are liver and kidney herbs, which I'll talk about in just a second. There's zinc, other minerals, and then coffee enemas are 4 different ways. So let's talk about the liver and the kidney herbs. So there are certain herbs that may enhance liver and kidney function. 2 great books. One is the Rosemary Gladstar's Medicinal Herbs for Beginners. And I have actually made the dandelion burdock tincture for liver function. And I'm going to share in some upcoming videos how I make tinctures with herbs and roots. So that's coming up, but I also wanted to share, so that was from this book, and I will be sharing that, how I make that in a coming video. So watch for that. And then also this book, The Modern Herbal Dispensary. I'll link both of these in the description box. But there's a section, it's chapter 12, and it's sample formulas. And basically these are all liquid formulas that are designed to be made up as infusions, which are teas, or decoctions or tinctures with alcohol, glycerin, or vinegar, with an apple cider vinegar. And this one, there's great recipes all over this book. But one of the ones that's listed in this section is a liver formula, and specifically, oh goodness, I can't read it. Hold on. So this liver formula is this is a basic liver formula. It stimulates the flow of bile and is a hepatoprotective, or protects the liver. It has milk thistle, dandelion root, artichoke leaf, fringe, tree bark, red root, wild yam root, and turmeric. And so that's one that I haven't tried, but I know that all of those herbs are very good for liver function. So those are two excellent books. I will list them in my in the description box so that you have those. Um, okay, so those are different herbs that are beneficial for helping to and I've used like I said, I've used the recipe from Rosemary Gladstar's book. I haven't tried the other one yet, but it is on my list of things I want to try. Room temperature tea that I make every day, and I add that liver support herbal tincture to that every day. Zinc is a crucial trace mineral that supports the liver, its detoxification process. Zinc may also help to protect your liver cells from damage. So zinc is very important. Now, other minerals such as selenium and magnesium also support the liver's detoxification process. So now, we've talked about coffee enemas. The interesting thing about coffee enema, a lot of people think that it's just clearing out the colon. That's not actually, there's so much more to a coffee enema than that. It actually is more for the liver than it is for the colon and helping to detox the body. A coffee enema can actually, that the caffeine can cause or can stimulate the bile ducts to dilate. And this helps to release, it helps in the release of bile. So so these basically are 4 different supporting strategies for your liver and your bile ducts that will help prepare for a smoother detox. When your liver can't push bile into your bowels, a trap door opens to release it into your bloodstream. So when your liver isn't functioning properly, that damage or those toxins can be pushed into other organs like your kidneys, your lungs, and your skin, which are all other detox organs. I am actually going to talk about gallbladder liver flush that I used. And I think I'm going to go into that in the next video. Okay. So because there's there's a lot of information about doing the gallbladder liver flush that I did, the benefits of it, what happens to your body as you're prepping and going through that. Once again, results are not guaranteed, and I am not a doctor, so I am not recommending this. I'm just letting you all know what I have done in an effort to get my body functioning in a way that it should be. Okay. So this is kind of gives an overview of the liver, how it's supposed to function, what its function is. And the next time we're going to talk about, and the gallbladder and the bile ducts, how they're all supposed to work together. And understanding that if they aren't working, that could be making us sick or keeping toxins in our body that our body's trying to get rid of. So we just want to do everything we can to support all the functions of all of the organs of our body. I hope that you got something out of this video. If you did, would you please subscribe and so that you get notified when I upload new videos, and like this if you got something out of it so that I know that it was worthy content for you, that you learned something. I would like to know that as well. And if you have anything else to add, just add it to the comments. If you have any questions or would like for me to go into detail about anything different or more, just let me know. And I'll see you in the next video. Have a great day.